Hello everybody, SlimKirby here and welcome to the last video of 2016. 2016 was a pretty rough year for a lot of people, on and off YouTube, and while there were some rough moments for me this year, on the YouTube scene it was actually more pleasant than it was difficult. This allowed me to focus squarely on my projects and Let's Plays and have a good time doing it. This was also a pretty big year for this channel as well, because if you add up all the Let's Plays I've worked on in 2016, it would be the most that I've ever done in a single calendar year, and I think that is very impressive. Given, there were a lot of projects that only took 5 or 6 videos, but there were some pretty extensive projects as well, including what might be my 3rd or 4th longest Let's Plays so far. Safe to say, there was a lot of variety in this year's lineup, which made me really excited to see what the results of this video would be. And now that I do have those results, I have to say, this is probably the most surprising results I've seen so far. In fact, every year I at least have some idea of what project will take the gold, but this year, I was actually way off, and that really surprises me. Before we get started with this top 10, I will give a small montage of all the games that didn't make it, and I'll also give a special honorable mention to another game that while it didn't make the list, it did manage to come out on top in another list entirely. But yeah, without further delay, let's get things moving, and remember, if you disagree with any of the placements, feel free to comment in the video comments section if you think a game should be ranked lower or higher. But understand that everyone is entitled to their own opinion, and this is just what the majority voted for. Heck, my top 10 is incredibly different from this list, so I'm just as shocked as you guys are. But regardless, that won't change the list or the rankings, so let's get things going. During the month of August, I hosted a special called SlimKirby's NES Marathon, where I played through a total of 6 NES games during the entire month, games that I had not played yet for the channel in the interest of getting some extra NES content on there. Now, because the NES games are very short, I am not at all surprised that these games did not make the top 10 list. Some people even criticized my decision for not making these games a separate poll entirely, or making the NES Marathon one solo project by itself. But honestly, I did want to rank all the games by their individual merits. And while none of the games made the list, one game did come pretty close and made it to the 12th place position out of a total of 22 possible candidates. So for this year's honorable mention, I'm going to highlight Kirby's Adventure, which got the most votes out of all the NES Marathon projects I did this year. I'm not at all surprised by this, because for the longest time I was getting many comments wondering when I was going to tackle this game, it being Kirby's oldest adventure game I hadn't covered yet on the channel, and it's also a pretty fun game as well. Covering it for the NES Marathon felt very appropriate though, and as most Kirby games are, it was a nice little breeze through a classic puffball adventure. And with that, it's finally time for the top 10 list. In 2015, Pokemon Gold was a huge investment of time and was probably one of the greatest gaming feats I had ever accomplished on my YouTube channel, with getting all 251 Pokemon on the Pokédex. So when I wanted to get back into the Pokemon universe this year, I definitely had my sights on something smaller. That brings us to Pokemon Snap, the first spin-off and console game we got for the Pokemon series, and number 10th on this year's list. Although I wouldn't say the game is as in-depth or inviting as the Pokemon Adventure games, it's nice for a little distraction every now and then as you take snapshots of Pokemon and get scored on how well and exciting your pictures are. It's short and won't take you more than 2 hours to complete, but still, there is something charming about taking pictures of Pokemon. It almost makes me wish this game could have been expanded on a little more now that there are more Pokemon now and the universe itself is a whole lot bigger. But back in the day, this game was fun, and it apparently still holds up well today as well. I did miss the other Jigglypuff, though, again, so... You know what? Sing Stairway to Heaven! Oh, God. I love my turn-based strategy games, as you guys are fully aware, and when it comes to Fire Emblem and Advance Wars, that love gets multiplied to the extreme. So when Sacred Stones was on my radar, I had no trouble with signing myself up for a project that would go on for nearly 5 or 6 months. Thankfully, compared to other strategy games I've done, Sacred Stones does keep things relatively simple, so taking on this behemoth of a project wasn't as much of a time consumption as it was for other projects. Well, until I decided to do Lagged Out Ruins 2 extra times to unlock Leon, but that's hardly the point. What the point is, though, is that I had a lot of fun with this one, and if anything, I'm actually a little bummed this didn't score higher. But hey, it still made the top 10, right? Yeah, let's do it. Jesus, Tana! My god, you're killing it. Literally. Kill. Okay, here, you take the... Let me have the javelin, honey! I want to use it against my foe! It seems like no matter where I go or what I do, I cannot escape the wrath of Donkey Kong. Well, that may be a scary thought for most. Honestly, playing through Tropical Freeze this year was probably one of my YouTube highlights. This was a game I had a really hard time getting into at first, but when I started playing it for the Let's Play, I actually really enjoyed it on a second playthrough. And honestly, I'm glad that second playthrough was my Let's Play, because now I'll forever have a project I can look back on with very fond memories and enjoyable moments. So yes, thank you Retro Studios, thank you for once again taking a long dead trilogy, modernizing it, and continuing to do awesome things with it. Now all you need to do is get the rights for Mega Man from Capcom and save that dead series as well. Probably won't happen, but a gamer can dream. Oh my god. Woo! Bopopolis, more like getting wreckedopolis. Woo! Okay. That's 2 of those levels down. Kirby's been a long time away from the console realm when it came to his adventure games. Kirby 64 was released on the N64 back in 2000, and about 10 years later he returned with both Kirby's Epic Yarn and a project that managed to take 7th place in this year's list, Kirby's Return to Dreamland. I have to say, when this game came out, I was impressed with how Labs had whipped up for the Kirby fans. From a game design perspective, this game is pretty damn phenomenal. It's a pretty decent sized adventure game, lots of power-ups, lots of minigames and side content, a harder adventure once you finish the game the first time, and a multiplayer mode for those individuals who enjoy playing through their adventures with a friend. Honestly, there is not a lot wrong with this game, and it's pretty hard to not have fun with it. Although it's not my favorite Kirby game, it made a strong case for why Kirby is one of my all-time favorite video game series of all time. So yeah, we have Ninja. We'll be showing off those other powers later, so don't worry. Okay, I guess we don't have Ninja anymore. You do have to look out for stuff like that. I guess. Oh my god, I can't believe that happened. The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time will forever be in my memory as one of the most renowned N64 games, and best video games of all time. Although for me, I was always more of a Majora's Mask guy myself. But I can't really devalue or speak ill of this game either. There is a reason why this game is so loved by people, and I think after doing my Let's Play, I can understand why. It's got great gameplay, great dungeons, fun side quests, memorable characters and moments, good music. It's definitely got the whole package going for it. This is definitely a game I can recommend checking out, especially with the existence of the 3D version on Nintendo 3DS. So if you haven't checked it out yet, please do. Do yourself a favor and check it out. Now that I'm done singing this game's praises, I have to admit, I am actually shocked to see this at only number 6, and if anything, a little disappointed. To be honest, this is probably one of my most favorite projects from this year, if not my all-time favorite, and with how good I thought it was, alongside with how popular this game is already, I don't know, it just took me by surprise to see it at only number 6. Not to say everything above this point was bad, definitely not, just very, very shocked. However, maybe this is just a testament to how good this year was for me, and maybe some projects were just better than I initially thought. But this game by itself, this was a whole lot of fun, and I definitely enjoyed playing through this classic game once again. Okay, so there's the first ghost, or Poe sister. Joelle, one of the Poe sisters, aim for her when she appears. Okay. So, Joe the Poe. Joe the Poe! Love that nickname, Joe the Poe. I think one of the biggest milestones for my channel this year was the fact that I finally obtained a Nintendo 3DS capture card, one that was capable of recording 3DS games and DS games. The first game I decided to go for this new capture card was Mario Kart DS. I said it during the project myself, but this game really did get things moving pretty hardcore for the Mario Kart series, introducing not only online multiplayer to a much larger degree, but also the Retro Cups and the possibility of bringing back older tracks to newer Mario Kart games. When this game came out, I was floored to see how amazing this game was, and it got me hopeful that Nintendo was going to start bringing out these modern implementations with not only other Mario Kart games, but their other franchises as well. Now that some time has passed, it's unfortunate that it is still a much needed work in progress with most Nintendo games, but with Mario Kart, the franchise just seems to keep getting better and better from this point forward. Gotta say, really looking forward to Mario Kart Wii, Mario Kart 7, and Mario Kart 8 when I get around to those projects. But as far as this project is concerned, Mario Kart DS was a great game, and it was a great project to play through as well. I had a lot of fun with it. I gotta wait when he's not ready for me. Like right there, and... Oh, come on, you dick! What the hell was that? Oh my god, he's gonna do this again. He's just gonna keep on doing that, I guess. Oh my god. Waiting for Super Smash Bros. Brawl to come out was one of the most unbearable experiences of my gaming life, and thanks to Sakurai and Smash Dojo, plus all the Japanese gamers that got the game before America did, that wait did not get any easier. It was still a good experience though, especially when the game came out, After all, it was the first Smash Bros. Game that featured online play, and although the online play wasn't perfect, I definitely got a good feel of it, especially when it came to playing with all of my online friends. Unfortunately now, with the existence of Smash 4 and the elimination of Nintendo Wi-Fi connection for Wii games, Brawl is not really a game I see myself going back to very much, unless I just want to be nostalgic and play the Subspace Emissary for old time's sake. I guess you can say that is pretty much what prompted this playthrough in the first place, wanting to share that experience with you guys and get some playtime out of an old classic before I put it down again for a very, very long time's rest. It seemed like you guys enjoyed it too though, so I am very much satisfied with where it is on this list. Hero of Time, everybody! Oh my god. The fan is OP. Oh god, this playthrough is going great. I love this playthrough. We all know when it comes to my channel, I am definitely known as the Mario Party guy, and for a few years now, since the completion of Mario Party 8 actually, Mario Party DS has always been on my radar. However, I haven't exactly had the best luck with obtaining and keeping DS capture devices, so before I ever got the chance to start working on this game, I always had to put it to the side and work on something else instead. So this time, I wanted to make this run count and made Mario Party DS one of my first priorities. And let me just say, I'm glad I did because the reception was amazing. I had so much fun with it, and it was good to feel the charm of those old Mario Party playthroughs coming back to embrace my channel once again. Although the game might seem smaller in scale compared to the old and traditional Mario Party games, it definitely has the spirit of what makes this series so much fun for me, and I think that is what is most important. Although I could have seen this as number 2 or even number 1 on this list, number 3 ain't too shabby either, and I'm glad to see this was a highlight of this year's Slim Kirby experience. And I think I lost my place. This is probably wrong. If we get a bad looking Waluigi though, it'll be worth it. Oh, no, I got it. Okay, cool. Waluigi. Waluigi in Peach's dress though. This year we had a double dose of Mario Kart, and pun incredibly intended, the other Mario Kart game we covered this calendar year was none other than Mario Kart Double Dash. Double Dash definitely seems to be the golden boy of the Mario Kart series right now. The game people will often put on a pedestal for being the best, or the game future installments should emulate down to a T. While I personally do not agree with this thinking, I'm not going to pick it apart and call it overrated either, because there was a time when Double Dash was my favorite Mario Kart game, and I had a lot of fun with playing it again for the channel as well. I think at this point, at least for me anyway, it's hard to really call any of the Mario Kart games the best, just because the entire series is very good on its own merits, and it really just comes down to which game mechanics feel the most natural for the player in question. For me, I actually find Double Dash to be a bit too chaotic and harder to control than other Mario Kart games, but it was still fun going back to it for a nice romp down memory lane. Not to mention being able to play this game at MagFest with my friends for a fun multiplayer experience and recording session. I feel like in this case, the game's popularity definitely helped to get some extra votes because number 2 seems really high to me, but hey, if it's what you guys enjoy on my channel, at least I know that Mario spin-offs and Mario games in general are good choices. Oh man, I'm being followed by 2 racers right now. Well, they both got hit though, somehow. And Baby Mario and Toad representing the lightweights. If they actually get second place, I can do like whatever I want in Rainbow Road. And like do whatever I want because I'm going to win no matter what. I really hope that happens. That'll be awesome. That'll be like a second place for all the ages right there. I don't think it's going to happen. I saw them in second. I saw them in second. Which means they are right there. Where's Bowser and Yoshi, though? They lost it. They had something going on, but then they just lost it. Okay, I'm not going to take the shortcut. I'm just going to keep going my normal route. God. Oh, look at those two. They want the finish. They want the first place. They're not going to... Or they could get it. I might want to give it... Oh, shoot. Oh. Oh, but they do get it! And Baby Luigi right behind as well. Oh, my God. Two, like, underdogs just took that. They were in last! They were in last before this race. Oh my God. They both jump up 3 places. That is incredible. Wow. So I get the feeling you guys like Mario games, like, a lot, because not only does Mario have some pretty strong showings in every year's list, but the plumber himself has managed to take 4 of the top 5 slots in this year's list, and the other game in the top 5 definitely features Mario to a pretty big degree as well. I suppose I should be looking at this occurrence as a red flag of some kind, like maybe the results are skewed to a certain franchise, or maybe I play too many Mario games a year or something, but honestly, there are a few things I can say for certain. For one, I love Mario games too, and the Mario series is probably one of my favorite video game series of all time, so to not feature it on my YouTube channel would be pretty weird. 2, there are many Mario games that exist out there, and no matter how many I do in one specific year, there will always be more to follow suit. And all of these games are of pretty high quality as well. And finally, when you take a look at this year's winner, Super Mario Galaxy, you have perhaps one of the greatest Mario games and video games of all time. And whenever you play it, or even watch along with it, it's bound to be an excellent adventure. It's an absolutely beautiful game that incorporated its spherical platforming brilliantly, has an amazing soundtrack, introduced some quirky characters, enemies, gimmicks, levels, and locations, and was overall just a great experience on the Nintendo Wii. Hell, even the game's sequel has its amazing moments too, and maybe we'll have that to look forward to in the future as well. But until that time comes, I am honored to declare Super Mario Galaxy to be my best project of 2016. It was a grand adventure that's a treat to play through no matter how many times you do it. Oh man. I don't think I'm doing this in the best way. Thank God for that spin jump though. That spin jump really comes in handy. Ah! Oh my God, I'm actually gonna do this. Oh my God! That was the hypest ever. I did that in a terrible way. But you know what? It's not gonna matter because I freaking got that star. Oh my God. I really had to do some skillful long jumping there. My God. Oh, thank God. Just thank God. So there we go, another year of great project with even more great projects to come. I'd like to thank everyone for voting in this year's list and making this year an incredible and memorable year for me. However, don't think I'm going to stop anytime soon. We may be approaching my 10-year anniversary in July, but as I've said a number of times, that will not be any indication of when I'm stopping YouTube. In fact, we have some incredibly hard hitters for this next year's project lineup. What can we expect in 2017? I can foresee yet another return to the deep depths of space. I can foresee a city completely submerged in chaos. A great war will once again strike this world with double the amount of impact. And finally, when we find ourselves alone and stranded in a strange world, our company will be joined by a cast of colorful creatures in a difficult decision of whether or not they will live or die. And maybe or maybe not Quest 64, haven't decided yet. But until that time comes, I hope you guys enjoy what I have planned for you as we take our first steps into 2017. Thanks for the continued support, everyone. I really appreciate it, and I will see you Star Warriors next time. Later, folks. You!